Hey, London, we're coming back to your city as part of the London Podcast Festival at King's Place in September. September 22nd through 25th is the festival. We have shows the 23rd and 24th.
Yes.
Those are Friday and Saturday nights. But you should check out the whole schedule. There's Judge John Hodgman's going to be there. Harry Shearer, his thing, Le Show, is going to be there. My dad wrote a porno, the show, not my dad. What else?
There's like a million.
The Illusionist.
Yeah.
Yeah, No Such Thing as a Fish. Anyway, buy tickets for us, too. Like, your top priority should be like, hey, complete guide to everything.
Right.
You can.
First things first.
Yeah, tickets are on sale now. You can get them at tcgte.com/tour. So that's September. London Podcast Festival, King's Place. Do it today.
Hello and welcome to the Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm your host, Tom.
Tim.
Were you zoning out there already?
I was just trying to relax.
That's a great time to relax.
I was just trying to get. I realize I start these things off. I'm usually talking a mile a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be present, and I just want to be like, all right, Tim, just calm down and just let the brilliance flow naturally.
Right. Just enjoy the ride.
Yeah, exactly. Life is a highway.
Mm-hmm. How has your week been, Tim?
Tom,
I may ask.
It's been pretty good. I know you don't like when I talk about this kind of stuff, but I'm doing something for me. I'm eating well.
Great. Yeah, you brought over some apple rings, and then you were like, I don't like these. But you still ate them all.
Yeah, because I'm hungry. There's nothing else I can eat.
Are you on an all-apple diet?
I'm doing the all-apple diet.
Mm-hmm.
It's applesauce, but unsweetened applesauce.
Okay.
Apple cider.
Right.
Apple juice. Apples. That's it.
Yeah, you can't forget apples.
Yeah.
So you ever indulge by putting some applesauce on an apple?
Yeah, that's
washing it down with apple juice.
I'll be honest with you. That's pretty much all you can do on the all-apple diet.
Apples are pretty good, though. I'll give them that.
Apples are pretty good, and here's the thing. A lot of varieties.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of varieties, but some of those varieties stink.
Like what?
Red Delicious.
Yeah, they're mealy.
Yep.
Nobody likes a mealy anything, really.
No, except a meal.
Yeah, but not a mealy meal.
No. What's your favorite type of apple, Tim?
I'm right now. I'm classic.
Now. Classic apples.
Yeah, classic Granny Smith.
You know what? I like call me old fashioned. I like the classic recipe apple.
What's your favorite?
Probably Fuji apples.
Really?
Crab apples are my favorite. Just take them right off the tree. Eat them up. Nice and mealy.
What else can you make out of apples? Apple pie I'm not allowed to have because that's pie.
What if it's made entirely out of apples?
Yeah, that's fine. What about these people? You ever see, it was probably like on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was on the internet, but they were like, you've been eating apples wrong your whole life. And it's just like, eat the core.
No, don't eat the core. It's poison.
It's not poison. Why would it be poison, Tub?
If
it was poison, wouldn't you be nervous? Like, where do I stop? Because it's not clear where the core begins.
I thought it was like that fish that only really skilled sushi makers can make because of the blowfish, because the rest is poisonous.
Right.
I thought it was like the same deal with apples. Don't the pits have arsenic in them?
Yeah, but all seeds have
Everything's got arsenic in it, Tim.
A little bit.
Have you been trying to kill me?
I've been trying to build up your tolerance like a true friend.
Well, thank you, I guess.
I've been putting a tiny amount in every beverage I serve.
Everything in your cabinet has arsenic in it.
How are you this week? Sorry,
if
you want to keep the apple talk going, that's fine with me.
Oh, no. I mean, maybe we'll come back to it, you know? I don't want to take it completely off the table, but good. I mean, I don't think I've eaten an apple this week. I had some of your apple rings. I think I liked them more than you did.
Yeah, well, I'm sick of apples.
Well, I was going to say, but I haven't had apples in a little while. So, I was like, oh, what a fun change.
If you told me 48 hours ago, have these apple rings, I would have thanked you.
Right. It's been that short of a time. You're already sick of apples.
Yeah. I'm seeing apples. I'm seeing red.
Yeah. Delicious. Red delicious.
Red delicious. Apples.
I've been eating bananas lately. They're pretty good. Have you thought about trying bananas?
I'd love to. It's outside of the purview
of your all-apple diet.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, other than that, I'm good, Tim. I was thinking about something, though, that I want to bring up.
Okay.
Because I want to know if this is a real thing or just a thing, and I don't know why the hell this popped into my head this week, but I don't know if there's a real thing or like a thing that they made up for stories. But you remember Peter Pan? You remember Peter Pan?
Yeah, I mean, not like person. I remember like
the story of Peter Pan.
Uh-huh.
When Peter came to Wendy's window that first night, Wendy and Michael and John, their parents were out and they had left the dog in charge of babysitting and in charge of watching him.
Okay.
Is that like a real thing you can do or people used to do? Put a dog in charge? The dog's name was Nana. It was like, you know what, we could hire a nanny, but we'll just buy a dog and we'll have the dog raise these kids.
I assumed it was like the reincarnated spirit of their grandmother.
No, I don't think that was implied at all.
Then why else would it be called Nana?
Because it was just in charge of watching the kids while their parents were out getting sloshed.
But doesn't my explanation make a lot more sense?
Well, but even
because like, what do you think that this couple is going to be like? Let's leave our 3 children home alone with a dog watching them, or let's leave them with the grandmother,
with my mother, with the
who
ghost,
just happened to pass away, and
right when the dog was being born,
exactly,
and the soul got sucked into.
It was
the
a
dog.
live lightning crashes situation,
right? And even if that wasn't the case, even if people never used to leave their dogs, I feel like people do leave their dogs watching kids sometimes. I feel like I know somebody that used to do that.
You know what I feel like with the kids and the dogs leaving them at home? It's
Yeah.
a real who's watching who situation.
No, 100%. Because, the kids are like, oh, we got the dog watching us. And then
You're like, someone's got to feed the dog, but
Right.
someone's got to protect the kids. It's a perfect...
the dog can protect kids. I don't know if in Victorian London, if it was like, the biggest concern was just, well, if we're out for the night, somebody's Jack the Ripper is going to come and kill the kids unless we got a dog here watching them.
Right.
Otherwise, the kids are fine. They can take care of themselves, but they can't defend themselves. So we'll get a big
I feel like
St. Bernard.
it was just like, well, if we don't lose one of these kids to a household accident, like we're going to lose them to polio anyway.
Yeah, we're going to
like,
lose them to disease.
Yeah, or like typhoid.
Yeah. Well, in that case, it's like don't hire a nanny who might bring typhoid into the house.
No, that's
the
why.
The dog's not going to.
Exactly.
Also,
the devil you know. The dog you know.
Also, that dog must have been so upset when the kids flew away.
Yeah, why didn't they bring the dog?
I don't think the dog could fly.
Well, that's messed up, man. Because, like, wouldn't it be cool if they had dogs in Neverland? I wouldn't want to go to Neverland if it was if I had a dog and they could be like, all right, they're like, hey, we'll never grow up.
Yeah. Well, they could have
dog.
dogs in Neverland, but like probably just dogs that were already there.
Found dogs.
Yeah. Or pirate dogs.
Yeah. I was unclear about the whole hierarchy of Neverland.
What do you mean? There are pirates and kids.
Right, but they lived
they lived
at
Indians.
like kind of but not anymore, not in the new version.
There are no more Indians anymore?
I mean, they were like, all right, so it was Native Americans, right?
Right,
not
but they weren't native Neverlandians.
Right, so there were Native Americans that were transported to Neverland, which
by unknown means.
Right. I don't know. Where did everybody
Or
come
maybe
from?
Neverland was in America. Maybe it was, his first Star of the Right and straight on till morning. That sounds like a pretty long way. That sounds like a red eye.
Yeah.
So maybe it was in America. Maybe it was just like Rhode Island.
You know what I learned from this conversation?
What?
You know way more about Peter Pan than most people.
Which is why it's surprising that I've never thought about this before with Nana.
Yeah.
Yeah. That dog must have been so upset. And then when the parents came home, The dog can't. They probably beat the hell out of the dog.
God. When they came back at the end,
Yeah.
because they were gone the whole time, right?
The parents?
No, like the kids. Like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
went, like they didn't like keep leaving and coming back. Or did
No. I think they came back before their parents came back, though.
they? Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
like the timeline didn't really make sense, but neither did flying children. So
Yeah. Because I was thinking like they'd come back and the dog would be gone, and the kid, like the parents would be like,
like,
"Well, thank God you're back. We thought the dog ate you." So
Yeah,
we
and we killed it
cut him open.
to see if there were 3 children inside.
I was watching Big the other night, or the other day on an airplane.
Right.
The one
which I've told you can buy it on DVD. You don't have to.
I'd rather take the flight, Tom. It's about the experience.
All right.
Say, that way I can watch Big on the way out there.
Mm-hmm.
Land, get myself a Cinnabon,
Mm-hmm.
come back, watch Brewster's Millions on the way home.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my weekend in a nutshell.
I haven't had a Cinnabon in a long time.
That's probably a good thing, Tom.
Yeah. Those were such a big deal for a little while.
I guess.
Yeah.
It was the same. It was a big deal the same way like Quiznos was a big deal for a second,
Yeah.
right?
And Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
All the flash in the pans, all of them.
Yeah, they're all going the way of the buffalo.
And you would think with the recent trouble Subway's had, Quiznos could. Why isn't
Now's
Quiznos?
your chance, Quiznos.
Why isn't Quiznos running ads saying like we've never had a pedophile as our?
Well, because they don't know for sure. It's the summertime.
It sure is.
Well, it's not
It's
really.
hot as heck.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost the summer.
Yeah, so we're talking about summer vacation.
Where are we going?
This one isn't for the grown-ups. Listen to this. Give this podcast to your children. 'cause
Well, don't
they're-
play that beginning part where we talked about pedophiles and how they have infiltrated the fast food business.
It's really hot in here.
We're talking about summer vacations,
Yeah.
but we're talking about not the kind you would take nowadays. Where would you take?
No, we're talking about like when you're off of school, not
Yeah.
like a vacation in the summer.
Yeah, because where would you go? That place, Hedonism 2.
What's hedonism too?
It's like a Club Med for sex people. For people who like having sex.
Gross.
I mean, I imagine that it's just like when we were kids and you would hear rumors about the nude beach, and then maybe you would make it all the way to the nude beach and you just see one naked old man before you turn back.
Yeah.
And you didn't even know that all the bikini models, they bathe a little further down without their bikinis.
The other thing is, if you were on a nude beach and you were a pretty lady,
Yeah.
and then like this group of like 12 to 14-year-old boys
Yeah.
come like waddling up, gawking at you.
Yeah. With the protruding boners.
All right, Tom.
Well, I'm just saying.
All right, Tom. But I'm just saying, cool it. All right, just calm down.
All right.
Family show. We just had everybody tell their children to listen
They
to
just set their kids down.
this.
Son, come in here. The podcast said this is for you.
You would, if you were that lady, you wouldn't be like, "Hey, look, these boys are here. Let me rouse my other attractive lady friends and let's like throw a beach ball around and like."
No, presumably they were already doing that. And you know what? When I was like a 12-year-old trying to find the nude beach, I wasn't like, oh, I hope they're playing beach volleyball. I didn't care what they were doing. I just wanted to see what a naked woman looked like.
Well,
And I still would.
yeah. Well, I got a deck of playing cards that
You have a what of playing cards?
Yeah.
A deck of playing? Oh, well, I got a pen I got to show you.
All right.
Yeah, you're not going to believe what happens when you turn it upside down.
We've gotten so off track. Like
We're talking about summer vacations.
Nothing makes sense right now.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back in.
All right.
Deep. See, I was trying to relax before, and then you knocked me off my game.
Yeah, I got you all titillated. All right. Summer vacations, Tim.
Summer vacations, Tom. Well, this came because somebody on the Reddit, suggested that we do something about summer camp, an episode
Yeah.
about summer camp.
But you never went.
I didn't want to go to sleepaway camp because
Wet the bed?
No, I never wet the bed.
Afraid of monsters?
Just afraid of terrible things happening if I was away from my home for too long.
You watched Home Alone too much as a kid.
No, this might have been even pre-Home Alone. Like, I just did not like sleepovers. I was like, yep, nope, somebody left the stove on at my house.
Damn, why were you worried about that when you were a little kid? When I was a kid, I remember like hearing about that and thinking like, yeah, what's the worst that could happen? Like, I didn't really understand. Like, the house will fill with gas.
Yeah, okay, so like, you're yelling at me for not being as dumb as you when you were a kid?
No, I think I just hadn't seen like Lethal Weapon or whatever yet and known what happens when you fill the house up with gas.
Tom, my parents sat me down my 5th birthday and said, it's Lethal Weapon. It's got a lot of information, some good themes.
We have a film to show you.
Exactly. And I'm better for it. I mean, I couldn't go to sleepaway camp because I was deathly afraid to leave my house.
I never went to sleepaway camp, but I went to like a regular summer camp, like a day camp.
What was that? That was just for like those were low rent operations, right?
Oh yeah. Like it was.
How old were you when you went to?
Maybe like 10 or 11.
Like, I feel like they were like, here, go shoot around this basketball, or we've laid out these hula hoops on the ground. Feel free to throw these bean bags into them.
It's pretty cool.
It was like, and also, I'm a 17-year-old who...
I remember there being a pool, but us not being allowed to go in the pool. I don't know why that was. I don't remember. I remember making like macaroni necklaces.
See,
I feel like we had to make something that they sold later.
This was not a camp, Tom.
Oh, I'm serious. Because I remember even as a kid thinking like, wait a minute, you're selling that? I'm not getting a cut.
Was it going to charity?
Maybe that's the line they fed us, but I doubt it.
How much could they make with macaroni necklaces?
Depends on where they were selling them. We're going to take these and sell them at Macy's. And you kids aren't getting a cut.
We're going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I remember there being like it wasn't like a field day, it was like a carnival on the last day.
This is why child labor will never work in the U.S. ever again. Kids can't do anything now. Yeah. You can't tell a kid to do something.
No, it'd be play a game. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, Tom.
No, I remember there was like a carnival on the last day, and it was so much fun. And I remember just thinking like, why didn't we do this all the time?
Yeah.
Why wasn't this
my mom send me to carnival camp?
Yeah. Well, I would love to go to clown camp or a circus camp or something.
Man, I wanted to go to clown school so bad.
Yeah.
Turns out like they just don't exist.
They exist.
That's what my parents told me. They're like, the clown school doesn't exist, and why don't you play sports instead?
They just didn't think their kid was cut out to be a clown. They thought their kid, the best he could ever do is become a professional athlete.
Yeah, and I did. I proved them right.
Yeah. Where would you, so when you went on like summer vacations, where would you go when you were a kid?
Like when I went away, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Occasionally, Disney World.
How occasionally?
Like once a year? I think like twice I went to Disney World when I was a kid. Maybe 3 times.
Okay.
Most of the time, Ohio. Outside of Cleveland, I think.
Yeah. Well, at least it's nice and boiling hot in the summer there.
Yeah, but the good thing is that there's no like natural body of water there. My grandparents lived there. It was nice.
No Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there yet, right?
No.
Yeah.
I was like, I heard the heart of rock and roll was in Cleveland, but I see no evidence of it.
And they were like, you just wait, Tim.
Maybe it wasn't Cleveland. Maybe it was Columbus. Either way, no Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
What would you do there then?
Hang out with my grandparents. I don't know.
But there had to be something. Didn't you kids didn't just go sit with your grandparents. There had to have been like something fun to do.
Whatever people do at their grandparents' house.
For example?
I don't know. Watch them eat hard-boiled eggs. And be like, what's that? Like a hard-boiled egg. I've never seen that before.
Yeah. My grandma would always eat cantaloupes.
Cantaloupes?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
Oh, yeah. But I was always like, seems like a lot of work.
How would she eat them?
like with a spoon.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it
cut
does
the
seem
top
like-
off them.
That seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, for breakfast every day.
Wait, that's huge. She'd eat a whole cantaloupe.
Maybe it was a melon. No, I think it was a cantaloupe.
A cantaloupe is a melon.
I feel like she would eat some of it and throw the rest out.
Wasteful grandmother you had, Tom.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can't save a cantaloupe once you open it. You can't just put the top back on. I think she did, though.
I don't know. I think I doubt she put the top back on. She might have like wrapped it in foil or something.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You can like
Yeah, I guess you could do
pierce the skin of a fruit and then like
that. Yeah.
save it. Why are we talking about this?
Well, Tim, we're talking about summer vacations, and what's more exciting than what our grandparents used to eat for breakfast? So you go to Ohio, and then sometimes Disney World.
Yeah. You?
Tim, you wanted to do this topic, and that's what you got to talk about?
Tom, do you not understand the difference between summer vacation
Uh-huh.
from school
Yeah.
and going on vacation in the summer to like a destination?
Yeah, but that's a big part of it, Tim. That's
Not
what the
for
whole
a lot of kids.
Yeah, but when you do go on a vacation, that's what the whole summer's about. You're just psyched about it. And it doesn't even matter where it is. Because I didn't go to that many fun places.
Where did you go, Tom?
I went to Disney World twice.
Okay.
Once when I was like 5, and my mom was pregnant with my brother, which meant what?
Okay, sorry. Go on.
Which meant she couldn't go on any of the roller coasters.
That
which is
seems
fine.
like a
My
bad
mom-
time to go to Disney
Well,
World.
my mom wouldn't have gone on the roller coasters anyway. And then we had to go back like 6 years later, maybe like 6 or 7 years later, because then my brother had to go, even though I was like, he already went.
Let me ask you
He
about
was inside my mommy's tummy.
when you were 5. Stop saying weird things for 2 seconds. Well, what did you think was going on with the characters?
I understood that there were people inside.
But they were still like kind of celebrities when you saw them,
Yeah,
right?
like I knew they weren't cartoons.
Right, but
You know, I'm not
part
an
of
idiot.
you was like a little bummed out. Like, why shouldn't there be like cartoons here?
No. No, I wasn't a maniac as a child. I didn't think that there was one place on earth that cartoons existed in real life.
Well, it might have been many places.
No, I knew that there was nowhere that cartoons existed in real life. I understood what a cartoon was.
All right, I didn't. Blew my mind when I learned about the animation cells and all that stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I didn't think they were live action. I didn't know what I don't know what I thought.
I knew that the characters weren't from the cartoons, but I still thought they were like important,
Right.
like VIPs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's why Bugs Bunny wears the tux at the Six Flags Great Adventure.
yeah. So like, I still thought it was a big deal. I still went to the character breakfast, got all the autographs
Yeah.
and everything.
I really like that autograph book. I met Dale, but not Chip, and I know this like 30 years later.
I think I might have met both of them.
Oh,
I
look
think
at
they
you.
were together.
Oh, big man on Main Street, USA. Huh?
Yeah. So I went to Disney World. We would go, and I don't know why, other than the fact that it wasn't as far as Florida, because both times.
Oh.
What?
Hold on. By the way, I went to way more places now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to like Busch Gardens. We went to like all sorts of places. Yeah. Okay. I
Well,
had a
that's-
great childhood.
And nobody can say otherwise.
Nobody can prove otherwise.
No, that's what I was about to say, Tim. That I'm not sure if it was both times, but definitely the first time we went to Disney World, we drove there. And that is a long drive from New York.
Yeah.
And we drove there in one day, too, which is crazy. It's like 14 hours of driving.
Yeah, if I had kids.
16 hours, maybe.
Did they like give you like Benadryl or something?
They might have. I don't remember much
You're
of
like,
it.
hey, we're going to.
You know what?
And then next thing you know.
For some reason, when I was a little kid, I would not get car sick when I was reading.
Okay.
So I could just like read forever and I would be fine. But I guess
Yeah.
when I was like 5 or 6, like what, they didn't give me War and Peace back there to read. I don't know what I was reading. It's probably just like looking at magazines or something.
It's probably Peter Pan. You just read Peter Pan over and over again.
I have to remember everything. I have to commit it to memory. But then we started going to Busch Gardens, and I think it was just because like that was way, way closer. Still pretty far.
Way better rides too.
No.
Are you kidding me?
No, they were not way better. I mean,
Hold on. Were you a coaster kid or not?
no, when I was a little kid, I did not like roller coasters.
What?
I liked themed rides.
Whoa. Yeah, I like themed rides too, but when it came to the pure shot of adrenaline.
No. Tim, you can't compare that pure shot of adrenaline to the first time you take off on Peter Pan the Ride in Disney World.
When I went to Disney World the first time when I was like little, probably like 5.
Yeah.
That was the only ride I didn't like freak out on.
Peter Pan?
Yeah.
I would think that you would freak out on that because it's like that's a crazy ride.
It was a boy who could fly. Like me.
No.
Except for the flying part, it was like exactly me.
Yeah, but it was all dark and like that was like a very atmospheric ride.
Yeah, I didn't like It's a Small World, but that just I don't think my parents
Because of the
wanted-
water?
No, I just like didn't like
You were
I wasn't
not
like
into
afraid
it.
of it. Yeah, I think I was just like, let's not do this.
What about Pirates of the Caribbean?
I did like that. Maybe I liked them all, but I think I freaked out the first time.
I mean, I've talked on this show about how I tried to grab the pirate's foot.
Oh, because it's hanging over. That's,
I almost fell into the
it's
lake.
very irresponsible that,
Into
that
the river.
That Disney's Imagineers did that.
Yeah, Imagineer, a kid trying to grab that foot,
Falling into the
falling
gears.
into the gears.
Yeah.
You imagine it the same way I do, that underneath all those things, like an inch under, it's just like grinding gears. Huge gears. Like just for no reason, there's blades under there.
Yeah.
Like the second, if you even put your hand in that water, you're just going to get sucked in and ground into a pulp.
It's how everything moves so efficiently and smoothly.
How do you think it actually does? What do you think's under there? Just a
It's a
track?
track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
You can still get run over on the track probably, though.
I guess so.
Yeah, but probably not really. It's probably not like they've got like 4 wheels connecting to the track there because you don't need that.
No.
Boy, I'd love to know what goes on underneath there.
Maybe we figure out a way, an Ocean's 11 style heist. We're not taking anything. We're just gonna drain all the water out
Yeah,
of
that's
Pirates
what
of
I
the
was gonna say.
Caribbean for just like 30 seconds,
Just
and
to
we can
see.
Go, and
And
then
then-
we're on our way back into the tunnel. The getaway driver.
Right as the operator wakes up from his nap and the huh? And, oh, and everything's all the water's gone. It comes back. Oh, I guess I dreamed that. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm just imagining.
It's quite an elaborate fan. Yeah, you just really seem to zone out.
Well,
just now.
I've thought about it a lot.
I can tell.
But in Busch Gardens, I never
They had some sick coasters, bro.
yeah, but I don't think I had Big Bad Wolf, Loch Ness Monster. I
Yeah.
don't think I went on them till like maybe like the 3rd trip to Busch Gardens.
You're some kind of baby, huh?
I don't think I was old enough.
Were your parents afraid that you were going to poop your pants on them, and then you'd have to go home?
My brother pooped his pants on one trip. It was horrible. Oh, it was so bad. He was very little. He was like a baby.
Well, then babies do that all the time.
No,
Tom.
but he was like old enough to not be a baby anymore. Like
So
I don't
he
think
wasn't a baby. Tom,
I don't know if he was wearing a diaper or not. But to
what's
this
going?
day,
Has the heat
listen,
gotten to you?
a
Hold
little
on.
bit.
He was a baby, but he was old enough to not be a baby anymore, which makes it seem like he was a baby for too long.
Technically, he wasn't a baby anymore, but we still dressed him and treat him like a baby.
We put his few locks of hair into a little
Yeah, a
bow,
little bow.
in the middle of the top of his head.
Gave him a sucker. No, I don't. To this day, I don't know what happened. Like, I'm surprised that there wasn't more concern about my brother's health at the time.
Tom,
What?
I cannot. I can't remember how many times you've told me about the time your brother, who was a baby at the time,
Yeah.
pooped his pants at Busch Gardens.
No, because he didn't just poop his pants. He pooped my dad's pants, too, because he was sitting on my dad's lap. And it only occurred to me now that everybody else probably thought my dad pooped his pants, which would explain why he was so upset about the proceedings. And I was instructed to go into the ladies' room to get my mom.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, but I can't. And then I got my mom, and my mom was like, well, what am I going to do about this?
Yeah. Who instructed you to do that?
My dad did.
Yeah, because
And also we were doing the tour at the Anheuser-Busch factory.
So you were all hammered.
We were all completely hammered. No, in retrospect, like, was really the biggest FU to him because he was the only one who wanted to go to that. Like, I want to go back to Busch Gardens.
Right.
I think my mom was, like, vaguely interested in seeing how beer was made, but didn't really care.
Yeah.
And me and my
Does
brother.
anybody really care how beer's made?
You know what, though?
Like, when you go on a brewery tour, you're not just like, and then at the end, we drink the beer.
Yeah, but back then, I don't think there were, it wasn't widely known how beer was made, Tim.
I think you make a lot of assumptions. I think because you were like 7 and you didn't know.
Oh,
how
I
beer
had
was
no
made.
idea. I was
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that nobody knew how beer was
every
made.
time the tour guy was explaining something, I was like, huh, interesting.
Oh, you were that guy.
It was that 5-year-old or 7-year-old, 8-year-old. I mean, it was interesting because, like, it was gigantic. Like,
Again, you were small.
no, but I mean, it's Anheuser-Busch. They were making, like, it's like the Budweiser plant. They were making, like, all the Budweiser. So it wasn't like when you go on a beer tour nowadays and you go, like, a craft place and you're like, oh, neat. It was like, no, this is how we make.
It's not neat. It's freaking serious.
No, it was just like that's small potatoes. We got to make 1 million beers. We got to make so much beer. You guys have no idea. Look. Check it out.
There's an alarming amount of beer in here. You
But-
could drown in this beer.
Oh, you could easily. And they'd be like, sorry, we got to bottle it up. The factory doesn't stop.
So you couldn't go on the beer tour?
No, I think it
brewery
was
tour?
after the tour. But still, it was like, the only thing me and my brother didn't want to do. And then, coincidentally, he got his revenge.
Are you implying that
It
you
might
put him
have
up
been,
to it?
No. But I might have put X-Lax in his bottle.
So he was a baby.
In a way, yes. This episode is brought to you by Loot Crate. Loot Crate is a monthly subscription box service for epic geek and gamer items and pop culture gear.
Hey, Tom, you're a geek.
Hey, thank you. For less than $20 a month, you get 4 to 8 items that include licensed gear, apparel, collectibles, unique one-of-a-kind items, and more. Make sure to head to lootcrate.com/everything and enter code EVERYTHING to save $3 on any new subscription. But Tim, Loot Crate is more than just a subscription service. It's an entire community of fans that share their experience and interact with each other around the unboxing of each month's crate.
Tom, you love this thing. You get
Tim,
this
it's
thing.
like Christmas every month. You get a box, you don't know what's in it.
Yeah. So 2 Christmases in December, by my count.
Well, if you get the regular one, yeah. And they guarantee $40 plus in value in every crate. Sometimes it's a lot more. Every month there is a different theme, and all the items are curated around that theme.
What I'm wondering is, what's this month's theme?
Tim, I'm not ready to tell you yet.
Oh.
First, I have to tell you about previous ones. Previous crates have included items from franchises like Star Wars, Marvel, The Walking Dead, The Legend of Zelda, and many more. Have you heard of some of those?
Yeah, I have. The Legend of Zelda, Tom. Tell me more about that one.
Pop culture is full of brave new worlds and societies in flux that don't always turn out for the best. June's theme will be exploring some of the ways things can go wrong with dystopia. So dystopia is the theme. And
thank you.
I'm excited for this one, Tim, because it's featuring classics like RoboCop,
Okay.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and The Matrix, and new faves, BioShock Infinite, and Fallout 4. We've got a figure, cool collectibles, and of course, our dystoporific monthly tee, a t-shirt, Tim.
Is that an actual word, Tom?
It's not. Remember, you only have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific time to subscribe and receive that month's crate. And when the cutoff happens, that's it. It's over. You can't get it. So go to lootcrate.com/everything and enter code everything to save $3 on your new subscription today. Do you love books but find that you never have time to read them? Well, audible.com has the perfect solution. Get audiobooks and listen to those books you've been meaning to read while on the go. At the gym, during your commute, audible.com provides over 250,000 titles from the leading audiobook publishers, broadcasters, entertainers, magazine and newspaper publishers, and business information providers. The app is free. It works on iPhones, iPad, Android, and Windows Phone. You can also download and listen on your Kindle Fire and over 500 MP3 players. And unlike a streaming or rental service, with Audible, you own your books, so you can access your books anytime and anywhere right from your smartphone. Audible.com also has the great listen guarantee. If you decide you don't like the book you chose, no worries. You can exchange any book you aren't happy with for another title anytime, no questions asked. Audible has asked us to recommend a book for you to check out for free. And my recommendation this week is Dave Hill's new book. If you're a longtime listener of the show, you've heard Dave on here. He has a new book called Dave Hill Doesn't Live Here Anymore, which he also reads. It is a hilarious collection of essays. It's very good. You can also check out my book, Meta, by Tom Reynolds, read by me, the author. And I'm actually going to have the second wave, my second book, up on there later this month. And just for our listeners, audible.com is offering a free 30-day trial membership. Go to audiblepodcast.com/everything today to start your free trial today. Again, show your support for the Complete Guide to Everything and get a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook of your choosing to keep forever at audiblepodcast.com/everything.
All right, Tom.
Yeah.
Now, when your family wasn't on vacation,
Right.
pooping on each other.
That only happened once.
All right. The amount of times you talk about it, it seems like that might not have been an isolated incident.
Yeah.
What were you like? Here's the thing. Summer vacation always seemed too short, but it also seemed like it was like infinite, right? Like, oh, excuse me, I'm getting very excited. But like, it's only from like mid-June to like the beginning of September, right?
Yeah.
Which to me, adult Tim, is like blink of an eye, Tom.
Well, and it's crazy when you think about like a common trope of like in movies and stuff and TV shows is like, but this would happen in real life. That like all right, goodbye for summer. Summer happens. You come back and it's like, what? That person looks like they're 10 feet taller.
Well, that's puberty, Tom.
Yeah, but I'm still saying
like if I don't see like a friend of mine for a month, they're like they might like grow a beard or something.
Right.
But it's not like, oh man, now he's got all this extra testosterone.
Yeah. Well, but sometimes maybe.
Yeah.
You never not see a friend for a while, and then when you see them, they've got a lot more testosterone than usual.
And they're like, hello, I just want to let you know I've been getting testosterone injections illegally.
Yeah. And I'm trying out for professional sports now.
Yeah.
Any that will take me, all of them. Putting a lot of feelers out to professional sports. That's how Bo Jackson got stuck playing two sports.
He got stuck, you say?
Yep. It was like a real, it was like when Larry and Balky would make dates with like two different girls.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, that's what happened to Bo Jackson.
Wait, why would it be a problem if Larry and Balky each had a date?
Well, no, not each of them having a date because they always dated together. But like, maybe not Larry and Balky. Maybe that's a bad example. But in a sitcom, when somebody has like two dates and they take them both to the same restaurant,
right,
and then they have to run back and forth between them,
yeah,
that's what happened with Bo Jackson. He accepted.
So his baseball team didn't know that he was
they
playing
did,
football.
Not at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
And he was running back and forth between them until one time he accidentally wore a football helmet when he went up to bat.
Oh no, he had
And
to
they're
fess
like,
up.
oh.
He had to fess up to the coach, huh?
Yeah, and he's like, is there something you'd like to tell me, Bo?
And he said, "Well, I guess I'm caught."
Oh, no, I guess you got me, coach.
But everything worked out all right because his
Yeah.
heart was in the right place.
Well,
is
that's
what-
the coach said to him, I wish you just told me in the first place, Bo.
yeah.
You know.
And sadly, that was the one thing that Bo didn't know.
Yeah, he didn't know that he didn't have to keep playing two sports a secret as long as he did.
Yeah, it's tragic. It's
Yeah.
a real tragic tale. I hear that's what finally killed him.
He's not dead. He's not really around, though. He's not doing much anymore.
Well, he's not a professional. How do you know, Tom? How would you know anything about Bo Jackson?
Because I keep up to date.
Tom,
I'm watching
name
the news.
either the football team or baseball team that he is most closely associated
He
with.
played for the Royals
Okay.
and football. Who knows?
I know one
You
guy that
kept
does.
it a
I know
secret.
one guy that definitely knows, Tom.
Bo?
Freaking knows everything.
Well, how do you know that he didn't? Maybe that's how he got caught. He showed up at the wrong football teams. He was just so confused.
You told me he showed up at a baseball game in a football helmet. Yeah, it seemed like you knew.
Yeah, but maybe he got away with it that time. Maybe he had some clever excuse. He was like, "Oh, it was all a big joke, coach." Anyway, what were you going to ask about summer vacation?
Oh, when you weren't on vacation, that's when I feel like I was living like in a real life Stand By Me situation.
Okay.
Like it was like
Didn't
a little
they find
later.
a dead body in Stand By
Yeah, I
Me?
found so many dead bodies. I was like, my life is like Stand By Me times 100.
That sounds...
And also, I almost got hit by so many trains.
Oh, that scene. God, that nothing terrifies me more than
Even
just...
now, I know none of these children got hit by this train, but every time I'm like, man, I hope one of these kids gets hit by a train.
No, that's not what I was talking about.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yikes.
That's grim.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, summer vacation always seemed like endless. Like, man, I just gotta get through to summer vacation and then that's it. It's easy street from then on out.
Yeah, and it was.
It was, but then school always started sooner than you would think.
Yeah, but luckily, here's a trick, a little tip and trick for all the people listening out there.
All the kids that you told to listen, right?
Yeah, don't think of it as back to school. Think of it as back to cool.
Yeah, well, if you're some kind of an idiot, maybe that'll trick you, but for
It's
the
all
rest
about
of us-
attitude, Tom. It's all about positive attitude.
Yeah. Well, I prefer not to get my life's ambitions and goals from Marshall's ad.
Well,
I don't want to live my life the way a Marshall's ad tells me to,
and why not, Tom?
because it's a depressing place.
Marshalls?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of.
Yeah, of course it is.
Have you been to Marshalls as an adult who needs to buy his own clothes though?
No, I don't think so.
It's kind of a great place.
I mean, sure, it seems like it makes sense because it's what? It's like discounted stuff from other places.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine. And you know what the thing is? When you're a kid, Marshalls is depressing, but so is J.C. Penney's, and so is Macy's. It's all depressing because you have to buy freaking clothes. And it's usually for back to school.
Yeah, one of them had video games though, and I would always forget which one. I think it was J.C. Penney's.
What? Oh, that you could buy?
They had like a small video game section.
You were a...
Well, but they had like one of those things where you could play video games.
Yeah, but you had video. You were one of those weird. You were a Sega household, which was freaking weird. But you also had like TurboGrafx 16.
I
and
won
stuff.
TurboGrafx 16.
Yeah, I
Tim.
know. We've heard the story a
I
million
won it
times.
fair and square. 2 of them.
Brother.
Anyway, but so what was I doing, Tim? For the most part, I was taking swimming lessons.
Oh.
Took swimming lessons every day.
I took swimming lessons every day.
Mhm.
And I was done by like 7:45 or whatever.
Yeah, I mean the lessons are
morning.
only a half hour longer,
Yeah.
so
And then I'd go to the beach every day.
I would go to the beach a
Down my
lot too.
shades.
Well, we lived in like a beach town,
Yeah.
so you had to go to the beach. That was the rule.
I
Surfer's code.
I never progressed past one level of swimming lessons, and I
Mhm.
don't know what level it was, but it was the level that was in the 6 foot deep part of the pool. You know what I'm talking about, Tom? And I can't dive. To this day,
You can't
cannot
dive, Tim.
I just don't. I don't have that thing in my brain that lets me. Like my brain is just like, no, you're
You
idiot. You're
you don't
diving
have
under
an
the ground.
override switch in your brain.
No, exactly. It's just like, nope. The head first is not a way that we. This is not.
But it's
what we
water,
do.
Tim.
I
Listen,
know. Tell my brain that, man.
I'm trying to right now.
I know. You're not going to convince me now because I'm never going to try to dive again. 'Cause
Well,
everybody's just going to laugh at me.
No, Tim, look.
Look at that 34-year-old man trying to dive.
Look, Tim. We got a perfect situation here because you don't know how to dive. I'm a former swimming instructor. I can teach you how to dive. And then nobody will laugh at us when they see two men in their mid-30s, one of them teaching the other one how to dive.
Yeah. When's the last time you went swimming, Tom? It had to be years by now.
No. When is the last time I went swimming?
I think it's been years.
No.
I like that. I think I know definitively the last time you went swimming. No, Tom. No, you were not in that hotel pool. That
Oh
one
no!
trip that you did.
Last summer, you were there. You were there, Lake George.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You weren't like swimming though.
I was in the lake, Tim.
We were in a boat.
Yeah, and I jumped off the boat into the lake.
I don't recall that part.
Yeah.
I didn't. Did I?
I don't think you did.
This is not something that we need to.
Well,
hash
you know
out
what?
here,
You
huh?
wanted to press the issue.
That's cool. When's the last time you dove? Here's the thing.
I
want
dove
somebody-
off that boat.
No, you didn't.
Tim.
That's horrible.
Just because you can't dive doesn't mean I can't dive.
Just because I can't dive doesn't mean that you didn't dive, but you didn't dive. Not because I can't.
I don't know. I might have dove. I might have not.
Yeah, I
When
asked
you
if
can
did,
dive
and
like
then
I
you-
can, it just comes naturally sometimes. Sometimes
That's
I can't
probably
help but
true.
dive.
Yeah, all right.
It's not a big deal to me to dive.
Maybe. it
Sorry, now I'm laughing at you like you thought those men would. But listen, Tim, this summer,
I didn't think it was just men. It was women
Women.
and children as well. All laughing at Tim.
Tim, this summer, me and you were both getting passes to the Y. I'm going to teach you how to dive.
Hell yeah, Tom.
You never had to do even the crouching down and then
yeah,
tip in.
that was. I could do that. But
Yeah,
I
Tim,
could-
that's the first step.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But
Then from there, you stand up a little bit, then a little bit more, and then before you know it, you got it.
all right. How long will this take?
This will take about 6 months
Okay,
every day for me to teach you.
I'm in.
No, Tim, I've taught probably hundreds of kids how to dive over the
Wow,
years.
Tom.
Yeah. Maybe not hundreds, because I've taught hundreds
Most
of
of
kids.
them drowned.
No, I've taught
Most of them hit their heads on the bottom of the pool.
right. I was like, oh, this is too shallow. Forgot. No. I dove in the kiddie pool once.
What?
Yeah, just to prove how badass I was.
Wow.
No, but you shouldn't do that. It's very dangerous.
No. I think that's my main thing with diving. That the thought of somebody diving in a too shallow thing, makes me not ever want to.
Oh, you
risk
should
it.
never dive if you're inebriated.
Thanks, Tom.
I take it from me. I've never done it.
Before you were just letting loose horrible accusations about Papa John.
That was not me.
We
weren't even talking about. We were talking about sandwich companies, and you brought pizza into it.
I was trying to talk about something completely different, about their wonderful game day specials, Tom. A combo pizza, bottle of Crystal Pepsi, I think,
I don't think they have
and
that available
unlimited
anymore.
breadsticks delivered to your house. They'll just keep bringing breadsticks to your house.
I could look if I have all my wits about me, I can dive into something very shallow because I'm trained. I can do it.
Right.
It's fine.
I wouldn't trust you to do that now because I doubt that that you dove in the last.
Tim, it's like riding a bike. Once you know how to
Not diving
dive.
into a kiddie pool though.
Oh, I wouldn't do it into a kiddie pool, but I'd dive into a shallow end, no problem. I could do it. No, Tim, we're going to the Y right now.
Tom, I just don't want to see you.
We're going to have to go to one of the all-night YMCAs. But I could teach you how to dive, no problem.
All right.
I taught so many kids how to dive.
Yeah, well, I'm not a kid.
So it should be easier. I should be able
You
to,
would think.
I should be able to just bring you to the edge of the pool and go, hey, listen, dive. You're an adult. You know what it looks like. Do it. But anyway, yeah, I would go to swimming lessons in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the pool is so cold.
It was so cold. I got
So
yelled
cold
at
in the morning.
I never got yelled at ever when I was a little kid because I was like, and then she must have been like 16 years old.
I was going to say,
whatever.
knowing in retrospect, it was probably a 16-year-old girl screaming at you.
Yeah, because she was my swimming instructor, and we had a class, and we had to do bobs at the beginning, where you just kind of just jump up and down in the water, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the purpose of that? To teach you how to like hold your breath when you're underwater?
It's 55 degrees.
Why is
Today, you can look for showers.
this thing telling me what the
And a low of 54.
weather in France is?
This episode is
Anyway, we'll have to go back and listen to what you said.
yeah. Alexa, you're
Well, don't do it again.
just mute it. Is she recording us?
It's muted now.
All right.
What were we talking about?
Oh, we had to do
Oh,
bobs.
bobbing. Yeah. Well, it was mostly to get you like holding your breath, but also like acclimated to the water. That's why you were doing it first, because it was like, hey, you just got to go under. You got to go under, get your head under.
Gotcha.
You do 10, 20 bobs, you're going to feel a lot better. Even to this day, Tim, you can bring bobs into your regular everyday life.
Not me.
You couldn't do bobs either?
No, I was fine doing bobs, but it didn't get me acclimated well because I was always a quiet kid. I never said anything.
Mhm.
And then
And with
Some
the other
girl-
kids, with the other 5-year-olds tease you like, yeah, imagine this guy one day with a podcast.
no, I was probably like 7 or 8, maybe
Okay.
8. And I was bobbing, and this girl was just like flailing around every day. Like she wouldn't she'd like flail her arms around, splash.
The
so
instructor
much.
or the kid?
The kid.
Okay.
And I think I like thought it was clever or something. I said to like another guy, like, check out the crazy bobber over there or something.
Uh-huh.
And this instructor lost her mind. She was like, "What did you say about another human being?" Like,
Did she
must've-
mishear you or something?
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know any words that could make anybody flip out that much. So like,
Yeah.
she like literally just like unleashed on me and just like made me get out and just like stand on the side for the whole rest of the
Wow.
thing. And so like, she was the one who failed me too. I think. Well, to be honest, I guess I failed myself.
Yeah.
But I think that turned me off. I'm just telling you this, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
This is the mental block
Yeah,
that
so
I
I'm
have
gonna
to
need
overcome.
to know this when
yeah,
I teach you how to
exactly.
dive.
So
Well, Tim, I'll tell you, I never yelled at any kids except for the older kids, and only when they were screwing around or if I was mad.
you'd yell at the older kids.
Yeah.
I bet you thought you were pretty tough.
Well, when you're like,
kids who are older than you, or
No,
just,
no, no.
Oh, okay.
but that's the thing. Like, I was 16 instructing like 14-year-olds, 13-year-olds. So yeah, that was like the only time in my adolescent life that I had like some kind of power.
I don't know. You were kind of a bully year round, Tom. You
But
didn't.
this
You
was-
didn't need a whistle to.
But this was town sanctioned bullying.
Yeah, it's true.
No, hey, Tim, I'll tell you what, some of the kids I trained wind up becoming lifeguards themselves.
Wow, Tom.
Yeah.
And they're all dead now.
They're all dead now, drowned. But it's quite an inspirational story.
It is.
But I never yelled at the little kids because, like, I knew, like, and I would have parents who, like, kids who wouldn't go underwater, and I have parents who were like, just dunk them under. I'm like, no. Then they'll think I'm like you and never trust me. Like, they never trust you. They're a horrible parent.
Wow, Tom.
Yeah. And to this day, I raised all those kids.
You're.
As a town employee, I had the ability to take them.
Yeah, it's well, what do they call that? It's like eminent domain, but people.
Yeah, what do they call that when the state takes somebody?
Child protective custody. But that's not. I
No,
doubt
it's
you
not
really-
that though. What happens when they became like a ward? A
Ward of
ward?
the state.
A ward of the town? a ward of the town pool, and they had to live at the pool. That wasn't
There's
so
worse
bad.
things. I would live at
Hey.
the pool.
I'll tell you what. One thing the pool had over my house was a little shack where they made French fries.
That's true. Also, there was a pool there.
Yep, 2 pools if you include the baby pool, which you could dive in. Only if you had the guts.
Exactly. And if you were inebriated enough? Is that what you
No,
said?
I'm saying don't ever do that. Oh boy, I could talk about all the fights I got into with the.
I'd rather not, Tom. Oh, boy, I'd rather not.
Do you want to solve a problem,
Yeah,
Tim?
let's solve a problem. Hello. Welcome to Tim and Tom Solve Your Problems, a podcast in which we solve your problems. I'm Tim.
It's not a podcast; it's a section, and you don't need to introduce yourself again.
I'm Tim,
I'm Tom,
just so they know whose voice belongs to who.
in case they forgot.
Since when?
Since the beginning, when we said our
No,
names.
I just played the theme song to our
Mhm.
podcast.
Tim, you have an email for us?
If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, you can email us at thecompleteguidetoeverything@gmail.com.
Great.
Gmail.biz.
Nope.
Well, I forget
You
which
had it
one
right.
it is.
You had
Okay.
it right the first time.
Oh, this comes from Emily. Hey, guys. My family has a Great Dane who, although small for her size, is a relatively large dog.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Whenever we take her anywhere, someone inevitably walks up with a clever smirk and says, "That's not a dog, that's a horse."
Uh-huh.
Or, "You put a saddle on that thing and ride it?" This, I think understandably, got pretty annoying after the 3rd or 4th or 500th time. My dad is looking for a clever, not rude, but a slightly sarcastic retort, and I am behind in the family standings. Help. Thanks, guys. Emily.
Oh, so she wants.
Check out the picture of this this Marmaduke, Tom.
That's a big dog.
Yeah. Hey, you think they put a saddle on that thing ever?
And yeah, it does look like Marmaduke. So basically, there's like a family problem,
Right.
and she wants to be like, "This is my shot." She can get the big promotion. If she gets
yeah, a clever retort.
clever retort for hey, is that thing a horse? I mean, if you just train the dog to attack on that,
Right.
like somebody says this, attack.
I don't think you can train one of those dogs to do anything, Tom.
Yeah.
Those
well,
dogs
you
are
can
just
train it to
gonna-
eat a sandwich,
What?
like Marmaduke.
Marmaduke eats more than just sandwiches, Tom.
Yeah, but he was known for taking sandwiches that weren't his.
Yeah, he took a lot of things that aren't his, Tom.
Yeah. Anyway, do you have any? Tim, you're a big Marmaduke fan. Surely this problem's come up in the pages
Well,
of Marmaduke.
here's what Marmaduke would say. Or this
well, Marmaduke couldn't talk, Tim.
Tom, I misspoke. I'm sorry. This is what
You're a fraud.
Marmaduke's owner with the floppy hair would say.
Okay.
And this actually came up in a few. You be the person,
Hmm.
and I'll be Marmaduke's floppy-haired owner.
Oh, and who's Marmaduke?
Marmaduke's silent throughout the whole.
Yeah, but still, I need to know where I'm directing my attention.
Probably your dog Ginger.
She's way too small to be Marmaduke.
All right, this couch.
Well, that's an inanimate object.
That's fine.
Okay.
Imagine Ginger's head on this couch.
Okay. Hey, you put a saddle on that thing and ride it like a horse?
No, I put a saddle on your mom and ride her like a horse.
Whoa. Hey, listen, pal, you can't say that thing to my wife.
Yeah, well, that's where the last panel was in Marmaduke. I don't
It didn't pick up the next day.
I don't know how it resolved
Oh,
itself.
okay.
Yeah, no, the next day it was just Marmaduke like stealing the recliner or something.
Wow, and that's pretty racy for Marmaduke.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah.
It got through, but like I said, multiple times they ran that sketch
Wow.
many times,
Well, that's weird.
and they didn't just rerun the strip. It was like a different person asking, and like it was all
so just-
redrawn.
yeah, so he just the author of Marmaduke just put that situation in a bunch of different times.
yeah,
Huh. I mean, that's a good one. Yeah, put a saddle on your mom and ride her.
yeah.
Yeah.
You got anything that might be a little less racy than what Marmaduke?
Well, is that thing a dog or a horse? If you're like, this is my brother, he has a rare disease, I'll thank you not
That's
to
not
call
really
him
a
either.
clever retort. That's just a weird situation.
Yeah, well, it's going to make that person, you got to really sell it. You got to be like upset when you say it. And the person will be like, what? No. Oh. And they'll probably just be like, oh, sorry. Even though they know that that's not the case. They'll look at the dog and be like, nope, I'm 100% sure that's a dog. But that person sold me on it so much that maybe there's something I'm not seeing.
Yeah. It's a tragic situation.
Or if you just always...
You like this one, huh?
If you always walk the dog, but you always take two family members to walk the dog, and they wear a horse outfit. You know those where somebody's the front and the back?
Yeah.
Because then if somebody's like, oh, is that a dog or a horse? They're not going to say that to two people dressed as a horse.
Because it would be disrespectful?
It would be either disrespectful or, that person would be like, I got bigger fish to fry in this situation than commenting on how big that dog is.
Yeah, but what about this, Tom? They say, what is this, 2 horses?
Oh. No, then you split apart and you go, one of us isn't even a horse.
It's the perfect situation, Tom.
The person will probably be so startled they'll drop dead.
Yeah. And that's, I think,
ultimately
that
what
was
this person's looking
implicit
for.
in Emily's how do we...
Yeah, read between the lines.
A simple, are you a dog or a horse?
I don't know, are you?
Fuckface at the end.
Takes one to know one, shithead.
Yeah. I'm not good at clever retorts. Just try to be mean.
Yeah.
Also, like, I don't know. Maybe stop trying to draw attention to yourself with such a big dog.
Or maybe is that your face or did your neck throw up?
Yeah, that's not really dog or horse related.
No, but you just say that to a person so that then they think they're ugly.
Yeah.
Gives them a complex.
What about this? Like, you're ugly.
I don't know. Keep walking, I'll go.
Yeah. Keep it moving, creep.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, if you just call somebody a creep, if you just respond, if anybody says anything to you on the street and you just go, oh, creep, that person's going to, I mean, at least if it were me, if somebody called me a creep, if I was like, do you know which way the subway station is? And they went, oh, creep. I'd be like, oh, sorry. And I'd probably just never talk to anyone again.
Yeah, so just always call people a creep.
Yeah. It's got me this far.
Tom?
Mm-hmm.
I say we close up the show this week.
That's a sound of
This is a weird one.
Yeah, sure is. I wouldn't, but hey, that's how summer vacations are.
Yeah. It's just sometimes they don't go the way you want them to.
Yeah, sometimes they're over before you know it.
It's time to go back to cool.
If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, you can email us to completeguideeverything@gmail.com. You can go to our website, tcgt.com, find out more. You can get tickets for the live in London shows, part of the London Podcast Festival, at tcgt.com/live. You can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/completeguide. You can follow us on Twitter @completeguide. And you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook.
Nope.
Instagram. Twitter and Instagram @Tom Reynolds.
Follow me on Twitter and Instagram @YourPalTim.
And you can check out our Reddit, reddit.com/r/TCGTE. And you can support the show the easy way, tcgt.com/Amazon, doing your Amazon shopping. We get a kickback. And the fun way, tcgt.com/pledge, where you can get a bunch of fun bonuses, like this week's bonus of moon facts. A mini podcast about the moon and facts contained within.
What is wrong with you?
Facts contained within the podcast, not the moon, Tim.
What?
There's nothing.
I was reading something on my phone.
Yeah,
and
I took the reins in your absence.
Your voice is like a low hum.
I think those are all the plugs. Tim, are you going anywhere on summer vacation this year?
No. Are you?
No, but I want to get like a super soaker at least.
Oh yeah, Tom. Actually, I want to get a lake house for a weekend.
Are you planning like a murder mystery?
No, that doesn't happen at a summertime lake house. We're gonna go water
No, that
skiing.
always happens at
Not at a summertime lake house,
Tim,
Tom.
have
Maybe
you
if
seen
it's
it?
maybe if it's a dark and stormy night.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'd love to go water skiing. Teach you how to dive. I'll teach you how to dive at the lake house.
No, I don't know what's down there, Tom.
I'll go down first and check everything
I
out.
don't trust you to go.
I'll go down with
there
the
and check.
snorkel. But listen, the first time I'm gonna be like, "There's nothing," and I'm gonna pretend like the creature from the Black Lagoon pulled me
Yeah,
down.
I know, Tom. But I think you'll also do that like the second and third and fourth time.
Yeah. And then maybe I'll hide a creature from the Black Lagoon costume down there. And the last time, when you're
And,
like, "Oh, come on, Tom! I know you're not. I know there's no creature from the Black Lagoon." I'll be underwater putting the costume on, and then I'll come out.
As the creature from the black.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah. Thought that was implied.
Well,
And then he'll be like, "He's real." And then you'll run back to tell everybody else at the lake house. But while you're doing that, I'll take the costume off. I'll come back to the lake house like, "Hey, what's everybody doing? Are you guys ready for lunch yet?" You'd be like, but. Like, oh, this Tim. I think it's time to send Tim to the loony bin. And that's how I'll finally get you institutionalized.
see you next week.